So I actually have a funny story. I hope Allie doesn't hate me for sharing this, but I remember we were at Worlds 2015 Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know a lot of you have been asking about the difference between now and then with USA Gymnastics. My very first time going was with the actual national team, so it was with like Sean Johnson, Nastia, I'm pretty sure Alicia, I don't know, there's a ton of girls there that I really had looked up to. And usually before you go to national team camps, you start going to developmental camps, but after we sent videos in to Marta, she said, hey, we just really want her to come to camp, so I got invited to a national team camp, which was pretty cool. I was probably like 13, 14, I think. I can't really remember, it was so long ago. And I remember driving an hour from the airport to get to New Waverly, which is where the camp was held in Texas. And it takes an hour driving through like dirt roads and going into this forest area.
Must go faster.
There's like this huge sign that says like, welcome USA Gymnastics. I remember just looking at it and there was so much open land and horses, camels, peacocks. There's a whole bunch of different interesting animals out there, but we kind of lived, it was almost like a boot camp. We kind of lived out in the middle of nowhere and we stayed in these little rooms where there were bugs, twin size beds, the showers were like super moldy and it was just disgusting. But at my first camp, I was just so stoked to even be able to go to a national team training camp, just starting elite. I was just so excited to be there. I didn't really know what it was like to be an elite gymnast. I was just kind of new to the scene and I didn't know how camps work, so going to my first national team camp was all just a new thing for me. I kind of thought it was more fun than like intense and hardworking. And my first practice, I remember being this little girl and they were telling me, oh, you have to line up like tallest to shortest, and when Marta comes out, you have to stand in the line and have your shoulders pressed down and arms back and go and show good posture. And I was just kind of like, okay, you know. So I remember sitting there waiting. We had to get there like at least 20 minutes before practice started, and you kind of stretch and wait for Marta to come out. And the second she walks out of her office, you're up and you're standing in line. And it was so intimidating and so scary because I didn't really know what to expect. And I really went into this having no idea how the camp went or how it worked. And I was super terrified. At camp, you usually get there the first day and you do like TOPS testing. So we do like strength testing, and then they have people that count and check off the numbers to make sure that we're staying fit and doing the strength that we need to be doing. And then usually the next morning we have 2-day workouts. You practice every event, and then during each workout you have to verify the event during that workout. So you do vault first, then the next day you do bars and beam, and then floor, and then you have a training practice, and then you wake up and have another training practice, and then you go home. So it's super intense, hard trainings. The hardest thing I think I've ever done in my entire life, especially doing gymnastics. I already had thought elite gymnastics was hard, but going and having Marta be your coach was intense and insane. And I remember calling my mom every single night on Skype because the phone service didn't really work out there, and I was just bawling every night and like, I can't do this, this is so hard, I want to quit. I don't know why, you know, Olympians have to be treated this way, why we have to work out this way. But I knew that the second that I got home, I was like, well, this is what I want to do. This is what, you know, I've wanted my whole life, was to be on an Olympic team. And this is what you got to do to get there. Marta, very good coach. I mean, we were unstoppable. We had to bust out those routines and be able to do them no matter what the situation was. And so that just had prepared us so much. And I feel like now coming back and going to camp now, it's definitely, everything's just so different. I remember texting Simone and being like, oh my gosh, like, I don't think I can do camp. I'm so scared. I just kept having these feelings of anxiety and being so nervous, and just keep getting these flashbacks of the ranch. And Simone's like, it's not like that at all. Just calm down. You'll be fine. Just once you get here, you'll see. So I just trusted her word, and I got to camp, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so different. Not what I was expecting at all. I've known Tom for a while. He actually used to coach me at developmental camps, and love him. He's great, and it definitely is a different change, and it's very different now, but I think camp has changed in a very good way. Tom is a very good coach, and he's definitely going in the right direction, and especially now that things have changed and the rules and safe sport and everything that had happened with Larry Nassar, and there's been so many changes in USA Gymnastics. We've had like 3 different CEOs. So many people have left. They've had to get a whole bunch of new staff. So it's definitely been different. There's still some same staff members as when I went to camp, which has been great. Going to camp and, you know, having them help me and to help me get better, and at least they know kind of the gymnast I was before, so I'm not coming into a whole new force of things. But I think camp's great. I mean, we get to stay in a hotel now that it's in Indy, and the food has been amazing. They actually have chefs that are cooking homemade meals, and it's delicious. Simone and I love it, and it's been fantastic. The food at the ranch obviously wasn't very good. I know we'd always be starving a lot, and I know throughout the last couple of years they've definitely gotten better with having nutrition, and that you need food in your body to fuel and to have energy. But at camp it wasn't always the greatest food, and I know kind of sometimes at night we would kind of like sneak into the cafeteria because sometimes they'd have like mini wheats or like good boxes of cereal. So we would like go and take the boxes of cereal and the little cartons of milk and like go back to our rooms and eat it like on the last night. And at camp I always brought snacks with me, and a lot of other coaches didn't want their kids to have snacks, so they would check their bags before camp, which I think is totally wrong. Like, I'm sure if they're eating it at home, they can eat it at camp and be just fine. And I think it's okay to have a snack here and there, or to have Gushers or a piece of candy, a piece of chocolate. I think you'll definitely be okay, but I'm so grateful that, you know, Lisa didn't do that to me, and that she trusts me. And so I would always have like a big bag of snacks because we were always so hungry. And all the girls every camp would always be like running to my room, Michaela, like what snacks do you have? So I was always known for like having snacks at camp and always having to give everybody food. It definitely just kind of shows you the difference now, like going to Indy, and we can fly in and go to the grocery store and get snacks and get the things that we need to fuel us during our break time in the afternoon, just because there's a huge gap from like lunch and then break and then practice and then until dinner. So it's definitely just different, and so grateful that we're not at the ranch anymore. So I actually have a funny story. I hope Allie doesn't hate me for sharing this, but I remember we were at Worlds 2015, and we were down eating, and Allie was just so scared of like getting anything, and I remember she like wanted some fruit really bad to take back up to the room, and she was so scared and would not do it. And Simone and I were just like, Allie, go get the piece of fruit, like you'll be fine, you're not gonna get in trouble for getting a piece of fruit. And she just like could not do it. So the guys were like kind of sitting over there, and she's like, can one of you guys grab me a piece of fruit? And we're just like, Allie, like you can get the fruit yourself, like don't worry about it. So it's just different things like that, where it was just like, to be scared to take a piece of fruit was just, I feel like, so unhealthy for us. But now it's kind of nice. Like, we went to Worlds this time, and after Worlds for team finals, we like got to this restaurant, and we all got hamburgers and french fries. And it was just like, I was like, are we allowed to eat french fries? Like, it was so like scary, because I know like with Marta we would never be able to have that. And so having Tom just be like, you guys deserve it, treat yourselves, get what you want. So I think that was just really cool to be able to kind of enjoy ourselves after, you know, winning a medal for Team USA, and getting to kind of celebrate and enjoy that moment for working so hard. So things are definitely changing, and it's been really good. The atmosphere now that we're at Indy has been so much better compared to when I did Elite before. I feel like it was just so intense. I mean, you get up there, you have to hit your routine. The looks on our faces, we're tired, we're exhausted. Like, yeah, we were, you know, Team USA, and we were so good and won everything that we did, but I would think it was a little too much intense. And now going into Elite now, it's just so different. Going to camp, you know, there's smiles on our faces, we're enjoying our routines, we're enjoying gymnastics. Like, yes, it's still intense and it's so hard and exhausting, but it's just been so much better. And I feel like going to camp, I'm not scared that I'm gonna be kicked off the national team or sent home or not get to do all the things that I get to do now. And it's just so great feeling loved and having all the support from USA Gymnastics and wanting the best for you as an individual. And it's been so great to feel better about that it's nice to be able to come down. Like going to Worlds, it was nice having some of the days Tom would be like, okay, like we did really good the other day, we're gonna take today, it's gonna be a half day. We don't have to, because usually we do 2-a-day practices and sometimes we do 1 a day. And we don't really get to pick the training time, so sometimes we only have like 15 minutes on each event. It's kind of weird. But when we would have those days, it was really nice for Tom to be like, okay, I want you to go to your coaches and you can pick on what you want to work on, or if there's different things. You can do routines, you can do parts, work on the things that you didn't do as good yesterday. So I feel like that was really nice to be able to just come down a little bit and be able to focus on those things instead of just go and drill those routines over and over and over again. I really like the changes that have been made, and the girls on the team have been great. I mean, just to go into the gym and see everyone's faces lit up, it's just a whole different world, a whole different program, I feel like. So I'm so grateful that it's going in the right direction that it needs to be going in, and I couldn't ask for anything better. So overall, it's been really good, and I hope that it can keep taking on from here. Also, I want to say thanks for all the comments, and I read all of them and enjoy them so much. Next video, Jonas and I are going to be doing a Q&A, so don't forget to leave your guys' comments down below, and you can ask us anything you want to know. So don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.